Dan the Natural Man Show. Yeah. Okay, today I want to talk about what to do when you just can't squeeze one out. What am I talking about? You know, constipation. And a lot of us don't like to talk about it, but that's a bad thing because being constipated is not healthy, and it can lead to other health problems within our bodies because it can lead to toxin accumulation. We have to keep everything flowing out to keep everything healthy. So, what can you do if you're constipated and you're at home all alone? Well, let's start with number one. Number one, are you drinking enough water? Dehydration is one of the causes of constipation because if your body gets dehydrated, then the poo in your colon can get dehydrated. And so the fecal matter in your colon can get dried out, and that makes it much harder to expel when you try to go take a bowel movement. So if we increase our water intake, sometimes that's all we have to do, and the bowel movements start coming again smoothly like they're supposed to. Now, as far as how much water, it should be based off your weight and your activity level. I mean, the usual thing is, take your body weight, divide it by half, and that's how many ounces of water you need to drink a day. That's kind of a generic term because if you work out and you sweat a lot, if you have a strenuous job and you sweat a lot, you'll have to drink more water than that. Okay, number two, increase your fiber intake. Now this is one that is extremely helpful. I mean, first of all, we all should be eating a more plant-centered diet. Based around fruits and vegetables, and beans. Beans are a good one to get you going. But one word of caution here: if you're only eating, say, 5 or 10 grams of fiber a day, and tomorrow you wake up and say, "Hey, I'm going to eat 50 grams of fiber today," well, that can back you up because your body's not used to it yet. It can also cause a lot of bloating. So you should up your fiber intake definitely, but you should do it over a period of a few days. Like, if you're eating 10 grams a day, tomorrow maybe try 15 for 2 days, and then try to go up to 20 for 2 days. And you need to make sure, as we said, to start hydrating yourself more, because if we eat more fiber, it takes more water to keep the fiber going through us. So they work in tandem together. Fiber and water, fiber and water. Number three, exercise. All of us could be doing more exercise, especially cardiovascular exercise. Starting a walking routine can definitely go a long way in clearing up your constipation. Any kind of movement helps us, whether it's walking, jogging, cycling, if you like step aerobics, do aerobics, swimming. As a matter of fact, one thing that seems to work is if you're having trouble, just do a set of bodyweight squats. And sometimes that can mimic your peristalsis in your colon, and you have to go immediately to the bathroom. It works for me sometimes. Number four, there are herbs that can help us here. One of them, senna, the herb senna. Almost everyone has access to senna at their local grocery store. Go to the tea aisle at your grocery store, find the senna tea, get a good brand like Yogi or something. Make sure it's a good organic brand to ensure that the herbs are potent. Go home, make a cup of senna tea. It might take 1 or 2 cups, maybe 3 cups, and I guarantee you'll go to the bathroom. Number five, one of the best herbal combination products on the market for constipation is called Dr. Schultz's Intestinal Formula Number 1. Now this, I don't care how backed up you are, I don't care how chronic it is, and I don't care if you have problems moving your bowels. If you've always had problems moving your bowels, if you take Dr. Schultz's intestinal formula number 1, it will get you moving. It has directions on the bottle on how to take it, but this is the way it works. The first night you take 1 capsule with dinner. If in the morning you do not have a great bowel movement with some substance to it, the next day then at dinner you go up to 2 capsules. And you do this until one day you wake up and you have this amazingly smooth, huge bowel movement. Okay, so some people, and this is rare, but some people have had to use 40 capsules to get themselves going. They're not going to kill you, so don't be afraid. Number 6 is another herbal formula, Dr. Christopher's lower bowel formula. Now this is another great one. Dr. Christopher actually trained Dr. Schultz, so they're 2 of the greatest herbals that have ever lived. Schultz is still alive, and Christopher died, unfortunately. But the lower bowel formula is another formula made for sluggish bowels. This formula is taken the same way. It can be taken the same way as the Dr. Schultz formula. Or with the lower bowel formula, you could take 2 capsules with each meal. Treat it more like a food. Over time, both of these formulas will actually strengthen your colon and get your fecal matter moving. And like I said, it'll strengthen the contractions in your colon. They also have herbs in them that actually can heal infection if you have some infection in the colon, or if you have bleeding in the colon. It can clear that away. That was number 5. Number 6, let's see. There's a lot of psyllium husk. Psyllium husk, you know, there's brand names like Metamucil and others. That is a good product to take. That will start to produce smooth bowel movements. It usually takes 3 or 4 days. And you also have to make sure that you drink enough water as usual, like we've been talking about. But Metamucil, or even the generic, it doesn't matter. Psyllium husk will get you going if you take it. Another thing that works for some people is coffee. Now, I don't recommend drinking a lot of coffee, but coffee does help some people with their bowels. So if you can't go, drink some coffee. Of course, the whole foods, plant-based diet like we discussed before, that'll get you going. That will fix your bowels because you'll be getting the fiber and the nutrition that you need for your bowel to do what it's supposed to do. Another thing to do is start juicing fresh juice at home. Good juices for constipation are apple juice and prune juice. Now, I don't know, I've never juiced prunes at home. I'm not saying you couldn't juice prunes at home, but as far as the prune juice goes, you can go to your local supermarket. Make sure you get the 100% prune juice. So you wake up in the morning, drink some of your fresh made apple juice, say maybe 8 ounces, and then drink 8 ounces of prune juice. That'll get you going. And in the same note, you can also eat prunes. Prunes don't work for everyone, but for the ones they do work for, they work for very well. So apple juice and prune juice and prunes. And of course, a lot of drink any kind of juice you want. Fresh juices, carrots, celery, beets, pear. All of them are good for you. Another thing you could do is take a high dose vitamin C. High dose vitamin C, take it to bowel tolerance, which means taking it up to where it actually causes a loose bowel movement. That's another way to get yourself going. Another mineral is magnesium. You could take enough magnesium. That'll get you going. Of course, there's magnesium citrate on the market. But any form of magnesium, if you take enough, it'll move your bowels. Another herb is cayenne pepper. Cayenne pepper, you can take it in a tincture or a capsule. That'll get your bowels going. And this is a good list so far. I mean, if something on this list doesn't work, then you could try enema. Now, enema to me is the last resort because you don't want to get your body used to having to do an enema every time you take a bowel movement. Now, in serious cases, you may have to take an enema to get yourself going. But after that, you start doing the lifestyle factors we're talking about here to start to heal your body, to get your colon to start working on its own. So I hope some of these tips will help you. I'm pretty sure that they will. If If you have any questions or comments, like and share below. Like my video, subscribe to my channel. And remember, until next time, keep it natural.